We mentioned the ongoing labor situation for Canada's major railroad players. More than 9,000 CN and CP Kansas City employees could walk off the job tomorrow if an agreement is not reached tonight. Canada's business community is estimating the economic harm of a strike could eclipse $1 billion, impacting U.S. trade. Commuter rail traffic could also be impacted. Our next guest puts odds of a labor disruption at around 75%. He's also watching labor negotiations develop at Canada's largest airline as well. John Gradek is coordinator of the aviation supply chain management program at McGill University. John, thanks very much for joining us. What stands out to you, first of all, on the situation in the rail industry right now?
We're getting down to the short strokes. I think we're within 18 hours of the shutdown. The shutdown is either a lockout or a strike. Canadian Pacific, Kansas City, and CN have both issued lockout notices for 1 minute past midnight, and the union has in fact matched them with a strike notice at the same time. So it's getting down to brass tacks, as we say, and the negotiations are still going on. There's still conversation going on between both parties, and we're hoping that with the presence of members of the Minister of Labor's office, hanging around and watching what's going on, that either we'll get a settlement or we'll get some action from the federal government on this one.
Okay, so you're the expert on this stuff. Let's just dive into it. First of all, there's already in the business community a number of groups that are calling for the government to step in. What's the math behind that? What's that process like?
Oh, I think that, this is not a surprise. This strike notice or lockout notice is not a surprise. We've been hearing about this for months. So, organizations have been preparing or have prepared for this eventuality. I know in some industries, there really isn't much of an option. You're talking about moving grain or potash or coal. There's not much of an option in terms of looking at moving product to export markets other than by train. So there are portions of our economy, primarily exports of our commodities and our raw materials, that will be impacted. There is no other choice to move that product except by rail. On the other side of the coin, when you talk about consumer products, you talk about pharmaceuticals, you talk about foodstuffs, yes, quite a bit of that is moving by rail, and basically due to, and it's a price issue. But there is trucking capacity being consumed quite quickly by organizations who are seeing the rail strike as being very imminent. So trucking capacity is getting tight. It's not sold out, but the shippers will be paying top dollar for trucking.
Does this situation remind you of any other labor tension moments in Canadian history?
Oh yeah, this is not a new phenomenon in Canada, unfortunately. We've had labor strikes by one or the other of the rail unions at various points in time over the last 15 or 20 years. What's interesting about this one is that they're both going out at the same time. So there is no backup. There is no alternative rail transportation available for freight in Canada. It kind of, to me, it sounded a little bit strange that we have both of these companies having the same date for a lockout strike. Where in a history we've never had this. So the question is, what happened? Why has this been allowed to happen by the federal government? Remember, railways are federally regulated and federally managed. So the question in my mind: how did this happen? How did we allow for these contracts to be in fact expiring and for strikes to be happening at exactly the same time? And that's something we need to have a look at again.
Yeah, that is interesting. It kind of reminds me of, we were covering the tensions with the automakers recently and how there was so much coordination, a little bit unusual on that front to have a lot of them bargaining sort of as a group in what felt like. Okay, at the end of the day, you talked about some of the potential economic impact. I'm not sure that's the most exciting news when we're already wondering about the road ahead for Canada's economy. Is there a message this might send as well, just to the business world, about Canada being able to get its act together? Is there a risk there?
Oh yeah, I think that I think the world is getting a little upset with Canada in terms of its reliability in managing its supply chain. There's a perceived lack of trust that the Canadian infrastructure and transportation can be counted upon to meet obligations that are contracted months, if not years ahead of time. So if buyers start to lose faith in the Canadian transportation system to be able to deliver commodities on time and on spec. There are other suppliers around the world who would gladly step in and take over the Canadian position. So I think we've got to be very careful in terms of how we manage the perception of our supply chain. We need some rigor. We need some discipline. We probably need some intervention to basically make sure that the supply chain that we are very proud of in Canada as being the breadbasket of the world. That we have to make sure that the transportation systems in place do support that reputation. And it's going to require some intervention, as far as I'm concerned, between both the regulators and the carriers to make sure that we have a robust supply chain.
Yeah, well, and I guess because we could continue to have sort of examples like this. I alluded to you watching what's happening in the aviation sector as well right now. Can you just bring us up to speed on the situation around Air Canada?
Yeah, Air Canada is in a situation where its pilots are currently completing a strike vote, the results should be announced sometime tomorrow. Conciliation, which has been going on for the last 60 days, is expiring on the 26th of August. And then you have a 21-day cooling off period. And then we're on a strike/lockout scenario as of September 17th. And the issue on that one is very, very much in the public domain. The pilots have been very, very adamant, and they're doing all kinds of things to make sure the public understands what the issues are from their perspective. It's really about compensation. It's about understanding the pay gap between the Northern Canadian pilots, Air Canada pilots, and pilots south of the border. Those pilots south of the border have been receiving wage increases in the range of 40 to 45% over the last 18 months. And Air Canada had a 10-year contract with its pilots, which is expired. And now the Air Canada pilots are looking for some catch-up. Okay. So that's going to be a very tough negotiation session. The odds of a strike there, to me, at this point, right now, we got another month to go. So the odds are 50-50, but as each day moves along the process, it doesn't look very, very good in terms of an agreement coming in time before.